Millions of students in this country start their higher education journey at a two-year college, and we know that many of them aspire to earn a bachelor's degree. But from National Student Clearinghouse data, we know that only about 1/3 of two-year college students ever transfer to a four-year college, and about 42% of those students ever earn a bachelor's degree. Data collection and use is an essential part of supporting transfer students. A few key data points that two-year colleges might want to look at is first, just generally their transfer rate, the proportion of their students who are transferring to a four-year college. And then it's nice to look at which colleges they're going to, and then really importantly is the bachelor's degree completion rate for transfer students and which fields they're earning degrees in. So that's kind of the foundational data points that two-year colleges can start with to start to understand the outcomes of their transfer students. So another key data point is to look at credit mobility, although it's a bit more work to look at credit mobility because you need to link your two-year college data with your four-year college data to look at the number of credits students earned when they're at two-year college and compare that to the number of credits that transferred or were accepted at the four-year college. And credit mobility is a key piece of data to look at because that's a key challenge we see with transfer students. We see a lot of transfer students losing credit when they transfer from a two-year to four-year college, so having that data in hand can provide baseline information to start to address problems of credit mobility. To really look into credit mobility, a two-year college needs to have a data sharing agreement with a four-year college and vice versa because to calculate these rates you have to link data. And so part of our REL Northwest project was supporting the development of a data sharing agreement between Stone Child College and the Montana University system. Two-year colleges and four-year colleges can do this work alone. They can work together to link data and calculate transfer outcomes. But sometimes it's nice to have an external partner support the institutions in setting up a data sharing agreement, linking their data, being a thought partner in how to calculate outcomes and interpret and process the data. And so REL Northwest served as an external partner with Stone Child College and the Montana University system with this process. And so we walked them through the data sharing agreement process, the process of linking their data, setting it up in an Excel template so both sets of data were together in an Excel template, and then calculating those foundational outcomes you need to start understanding transfer students' outcomes and starting to address those gaps you start to see in the data.
Stone Child College is a tribally chartered college on the Rocky Boys Indian Reservation located in Box Elder, Montana. My name is Jessie DeMontney. I'm an enrolled member of the Gros Ventre tribe from Fort Belknap, Montana. I currently serve as the Human Resources Director for Stone Child College. When we were doing the project with REL Northwest, I served as the Institutional Research Analyst for Stone Child College. Participating in the REL Northwest data sharing partnership, you can really start to have honest conversations about what's happening to your students. Are they transferring? Are they stopping once they earn a degree from you? If they do transfer, are they being successful? And that's one of the things that our tribal college president is really big on, is having honest conversations about the data. The data doesn't lie. And so if you really want to have an impact, you have to look at it. You have to think about it. You have to share it. And that's one of the things that we did with the REL Northwest data. We have a data committee on campus. And so the first people that we shared it with, well, obviously was my boss, the director of IR, but then we shared it with that data committee. And on the data committee, there's faculty, there's administrators, there's staff, and it's not just staff that normally work with data, it's staff from all areas of campus. And so there were a lot of questions that came out of that I sent back to REL Northwest that I didn't know how to answer, and they really do their best to answer those questions. What you get out of it is, like I said, is you just really see what's happening to your students when they leave your institution. It's really eye-opening. And when we looked at the data, what we were seeing was that the students who persisted to the next term was 60%, which is pretty good. 2/3 of the students that go on to the next semester. But then you look at how many stayed to the next year, and that was only 40%. So more than half of the students didn't make it to that next year. So then you start to question yourself. You start to say things like, well, did we really prepare them? And what did we miss? You know, why are more than half of our students not staying until their second year? So that really informs how we prepare them before they leave our college. Prior to the project, we weren't really tracking in a consistent way anyway what was happening to students when they left the college. Our assessment coordinator at the time did have an alumni file where she would do her best to stay in contact with Stonechild College graduates or Stonechild College transfer students. But you know, over time, students' addresses change and their phone numbers change, so does the contact kind of declines. But what this project with Rail Northwest, it showed us that we really need to be tracking that. We really need to know what happens to them when they leave here, not only to serve them better, but also, you know, if something good is happening, we want to be able to share that. But if we can serve our students in a better way by looking at the data, then we need to find ways to serve them better. And what we saw through the data working with Rail Northwest is that a lot of the credits that students were leaving with were either not being accepted, or if they were accepted, they were going into elective courses, so not courses that were required for their degree program at the universities, which doesn't serve the students. You know, that when they get there, they have to retake chemistry or retake math, and that's not serving the student. And so we're hoping that by redesigning the advising model, that we can help them develop partnerships with universities that they want to go to, that they need to go to get into the career of their choice, and that the credits will also transfer in a way that serves them once they get there. When you look at numbers from a percentage, people don't really pay attention. But when you put it in the guise of, you know, 6 out of 10 of our students that transfer to the university system, that's it. That's making it through to the next term. And then when you look at who's making it to the next year, and you put 4 out of 10 students, then they start to picture those 10 students that left that year. So it makes it real. It makes the work that much more sincere, and it makes the questions around why, like, more personal.